Open a cold one.
We're cracking open a cold one. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to episode 11 of the Woolies podcast. I am Haley.
And I'm Brienne.
You can find me on the internet as Lochnitz, literally everywhere.
And I am moon_and_yarn. Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You can find the podcast Instagram on Instagram as the Woolies podcast. Hello.
Thanks for coming back. Or for watching for the first time.
I think at the top of the episode we should just send a reminder to everybody that the cops who murdered Breonna Taylor have not yet been arrested. So,
Don't forget.
go harder for Breonna Taylor.
Keep calling. Send letters.
Even if it feels like you're not doing anything by sharing information on the internet, you're still sharing information.
People are not forgetting.
If we stop saying it, there will be no action taken. And we've already made good progress with what's been talked about and what's been going around in America, and I know other countries, even just from watching other like knitting podcasts, it's a very big topic right now. But just don't stop talking about it. Don't forget it. We support Black Lives Matter and the LGBTQA+ movement and basic human rights. So if you do not agree with those things, see ya.
We're not going to miss you. Bye. But yeah, happy Pride.
Happy Pride. It's June. It's almost the end of June, which is whack.
This month went so fast, but it's so slow at the same time.
I know. What day is today? The 28th.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Wow.
2 more days after today. 2 more days of June.
And then 2 more months of summer, and then I will stop sweating. But until then, this is me, the Hot Mess Express. I am schwitzing in this sweater, but this is for the love of the podcast and the love of my sweater, which I will talk about later on in the episode. So anyway, just wanted to talk about that stuff at the top of the hour.
Mm-hmm.
So, can I tell you what I'm wearing?
Yes.
All right, let's just dive
I'm
right
very
into
excited.
it. This is the Nina sweater, and this is a thank you. This is a test knit that I did for Pearl Knit Pearl. She is a designer. This is her first sweater design, and I know, isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
This
Wow.
sweater is lit, and I'm going to tell you about why it is. So first of all, I think I used 600 yards of yarn, like period, for this whole sweater, which is crazy. Usually for the size that I knit, I usually knit like a size 2 or 3 in most sweater patterns, and I end up going through about 1,200-ish yards of yarn, like on average for a sweater. So this is awesome. Like, this is a great alternative to, like if you can't afford 1,200 yards it's a shit ton of yardage.
Yeah.
For one sweater. So very affordable. This is a worsted weight sweater. I don't know if you can see like the sleeves against like my black dining
Black
chairs.
everything.
Yeah, black everything. And most importantly, I knit this in 2 days. This is a real thing. I am not making this up. I am not lying.
You blow my mind.
2 days.
Can I touch it?
Of course, of course.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So I love the way this yarn is Flower Hill Fleeces. She's a local dyer from Kittanning, so that's a little closer to the center part of the state.
Oh, we
from
can
where...
use her yarn.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So I had a lot left over from my shawl design that she gave me yarn support for. So technically this sweater was also knit with yarn support. But I had leftovers of this yarn, and I knew I wanted the sweater in black because, like, look at that lace. How cool is that?
Spicy.
Love it. So, very quick knit. Test knit, there was quite a few like modifications that I made to the pattern. The biggest one is just that I made the sleeves like more fitted, and then I think in the original design they come to like here or something, but I knew that this was like goth central, so I wanted like long, over the finger sleeves. But I'm obsessed. Like, I love this sweater, and it's totally worth sweating in right now.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I modified the neckline too for like a more open kind of like boat neck situation. And then the back is just stockinette,
Oh,
which,
okay.
oh, you actually can see from that, look, because the light's shining on it. So the original pattern has you do like the lace panel on the front and then continue it on the back. I did not want to do that because I knew I was going to have these giant, long, like stockinette sleeves, and I didn't want it to like, I don't want them to like stand out. I don't know. So anyway, that's my Nina sweater. It's awesome. I think this pattern is live on Ravelry. I'm sure of it because I saw it the other day. So it's also $5. Like the pattern is just $5. So like you need this sweater, go knit it. It's worsted weight yarn on size 13 needles, so it's fast AF, like the fastest sweater in the world. And I don't think that anyone would guess that this design would be like a quick knit. It looks very complex, I think.
It looks very hard.
Yeah. So, oh, and then the last thing I want to say is that the instructions for the lace are both written and charted, so whatever floats your boat. That's that. Pearl Knit Pearl is the designer, and it is the Nina sweater. There's also a ton of information on my Ravelry pages and on my Instagram.
Very nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's what I'm wearing.
I love it.
Do you have any fun accessories you'd like to share with us today?
Oh, I have these earrings on.
They're amazing.
So my mom got me these for my birthday, and I had them saved on my Etsy like wish list. And when I saw them, I thought they were clay, but they're actually wood.
And I touched them. They do not. Oh, I get it. I see that in the light. You can see that it's like shiny. It has like that varnish on the front. That is cool. So they're probably super light.
They are very light. Man, I don't have my phone on me, but I shared about them on my stories today.
Let me look.
I think it's yeah. I don't know where my phone is, but I think it's like something mountain, potty mountain, but that doesn't sound right to me. What's on my mooning yarns?
Oh, sorry. I'm just looking at pictures of your kitten. Pocket Magic.
I was wrong.
Pocket_magic. Oh my god, these are so cute.
She makes some very cute earrings. She has an Etsy shop. Oh, a fun thing about these earrings also, in the package it came, I'm not entirely sure of the plant, but it came with the plant that monarch butterflies really like to like hang out and like
oh my
like
god.
nest in and everything.
That's so cute.
Yeah, so I'm very excited to plant those in my new house.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a really cute little touch.
That's adorable. I like whenever people send me like a mini Snickers with it. I'm like, yay, kitty, thank you. That's a really thoughtful.
Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna plant that in my backyard, so then I have some monarch butterflies flying around my house. That'd be amazing.
So speaking of moving, do you want to address / touch on your moving sale?
Yeah, we can address it. I think we talked about it last time, but it's basically over.
Oh, is it really?
Yesterday was the last time, like last day, but I need to go through all the payments from yesterday, but I am donating a small proceeds of the money that I raised from everything to Black Lives Matter, and we are definitely over $300.
That's amazing.
I can't remember, like I need to do the math and see how much it all is, but yeah, I'm going to be donating to them later today. So if you bought anything, thank you, because that money is going to a good cause.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Good for you. And you're clearing stuff out of your stash.
Yes. Haley came over last Saturday, and I was like emotional, but she was strong.
I'm like the friend that clears your shit out of your house. I have no emotional attachments to any objects at all. But
put the foot down.
You made a lot of really good decisions.
Thanks.
And there's a lot of work that goes into being the person who has to make the decisions. Like, I can come over and be like, here's 30, 60, 90-day plan for, your stash or whatever, but you're like the bottom line for making those choices, so good job to you too.
Yeah, it was fun to go through everything. I found some yarn that I forgot I had. And then I think my favorite comment from people like buying it, the moving sale was insane.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like, it was like boom, 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 boom. Like you had to be watching it. And the page, like the Instagram page that you put everything on, I say only very lightly here, but it only had like 140 followers. So like, I feel like that's a small amount of people, but everything's just gone.
Everything's gone
Good
except
for
for like
you.
a few things. Like there's like a project bag and like some
Yeah.
like mini things that I wasn't even really worried about. But all the yarn is gone, all of it. So yeah, it was insane. And people were like, "Man, you're giving away such good stuff. Like I can't imagine what your rest of your stash looks like." And I was like, "Listen, me getting rid of this stuff is very hard for me, and I wish I could keep it, especially because my mom's just like, well, I mean, you can still keep it, just like put it somewhere else." And I was just like, no, that's completely goes against the point of me having it, because if it goes into a bin,
stuffing your pillowcases with yarn and like putting it in your couch cushions, and David's like, "Are you feeling okay, Brie?" And you're like, "I'm fine, it's okay, don't worry about it."
So but I made room for some new things that I brought in. So
Very good. I love it.
as I look at this pile of yarn I'm going to talk about today.
Hey, that's cool. Well, nice, very good.
Yeah,
Proud of you.
it was fun.
So, I know you have some finished stuff. Do you want to talk to me about your finished stuff?
Sure. Well, the first one I'll do this one.
I love that.
So this is a tapestry that I made, and I love these colors. I love the yellow.
I love the black and all the sequins.
Yeah, the sequence is really good. That's of course designs by Amber. Yeah, I actually got most of this from a fiber pack from Marquise Weaves. So I'm not entirely sure what these little bits are, but I wish I knew, because they're a very nice yarn and I wish I could buy it. But yeah, designs by Amber, Honey Silk Co., and then some roving from Paradise Fibers. And I believe this silk is also from Honey Silk Co.
I really like this silk. It's very beautiful.
I love it. I just love this little bauble right here. It has like a little lock in it. But yeah, I really like this one. David was on a boys trip and I had the whole weekend to myself, and it was really nice because I sat on the couch and weaved for like 4 hours.
I did. So speaking of that, Chris is doing that right now. He may come home in the middle of this podcast. If he does, I'm sure it'll be very loud. He'll probably scream, "Tater!" because he like misses whenever, like he doesn't see Tater. But I did the same thing last night, literally on my couch, weaving, ditch the bra, not worth it. I ate buffalo chicken pizza and like pounded Turners at like 9 o'clock at night.
That is amazing.
It was dope.
Speaking of Turners.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about our drinks. I have coffee, like I always have coffee. I talked about this mug on the last episode, but this is from Sullen Whimsy on Etsy, and this is the best shit ever.
If you're from Pittsburgh,
anywhere, yeah. I was gonna say if you're from anywhere outside of Pittsburgh, you probably are like, that's just iced tea in a carton.
Literally, it says Pittsburgh's favorite iced tea. Although I will, because I'm from Johnstown, I will say, and you're gonna hate me for this, Gallagher's iced tea is better than Turner's.
Now, alright, so we've had 11 episodes. It was a good run. I think we're done here. Gallagher's is delicious, like for sure delicious, and I appreciate the variety of flavors that they offer. So, agree to disagree on that one.
Both great.
I like that you can buy Turner's for like a dime.
Yeah.
And they're like, here. I got that. I think those are like 52 cents or something.
I like the little jugs that they have.
They're so
They
cute.
have like these little jugs you can get. They're literally like only like this big, and they have the handle, so you can just. I remember getting them as a kid, and I would just walk around with my Turner's jug.
I'm gonna buy us Turner's jugs for the next episode, and we'll be like trash people, and we'll just drink out of the jugs. Planned. Done.
I think we're turning into Yinzers.
Oh.
David told me. I'm sorry, we're just bantering at this point.
Okay.
But David told me the other day that I remind him so much of a Yinzer, and I took major offense.
Why?
Because he's like, you just like to, sit in the backyard, drink light beers, and say might as well. And I was just like, excuse me.
I've actually never heard anyone's like compare. I say that. I know I say that.
You do.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we all say, I think everyone in our friend group, well, maybe not Haley and Christy, I haven't heard them say it, but we definitely say might as well instead of might as well. And that's very Yinzer. But I'm like, I don't think those two things classify me as a Yinzer.
I say downtown, really weird. I say like downtown.
It's a little bit Yinzer.
What else? There's one other thing. I can't remember, but I always like register those like two things as being very yinzer. But if you're not from Pittsburgh, by the way, a yinzer, instead of saying y'all, people from Pittsburgh say yins. So I almost said jinsy. Did yins eat is like did y'all eat, or where yins going is like where are you going. The leveled up version of yins is yuns, and that's like backwoods, like yinzer.
You go to Bellevue, hear it.
My hometown, everyone said yuns. Like, where are yuns going?
And like that really, that one kind of bugs me because it's like you're not even like technically from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Because there's people in Johnstown that have really thick Yinzer accents too, and I'm just like, you're 2 hours away, buddy.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
My grandma says things like, red up the house. If you've never heard red up the house, that means like to clean up. We got to get red up. This is like a total tangent from everything that we were talking about, but this is what Turner's basically turns you into like a Pittsburgh hillbilly. And we've arrived. We've arrived.
Here we are.
As I've gotten older, I thought that I was like more of a city person, but I'm a bumpkin. I've learned that about myself. It's fine. Anyway, okay. Pittsburgh lesson.
You're cracking me up. Pumpkin.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is all over the place. I don't care. It's fine. We got a microphone. And by we, I mean Brianne got a microphone to film on the iPad.
We're testing it today.
Yeah, so come here. Tater. Come here.
I hope you guys can hear Tater better.
So we just wanted to see.
Oh, you're so fluffy. So cute. I love when Tater makes appearances. Face. She's such a sweet. Important content. But yeah, we hope you can hear us better.
I don't think that we were like, and we talked about this before we started filming, we totally agreed. I don't think anything was like bad or difficult to hear before the microphone. I think this is just, hoping to help.
Yeah.
There's some podcasts that I watch on YouTube, like Knitting and Yarn podcasts, and I'm turning my volume up to like 30, which I normally keep it on like 13.
Oh, okay.
And then when I change to Netflix or like Hulu or something, it goes like boom. So we're trying not to be those people.
Yeah.
But okay.
Plus, I know I have a really soft voice. It's already
that's
me all the time.
The only other complaint we've gotten about the podcast is that Bree is too soft spoken.
It's mainly for me. It's not for anything else. It's for me.
You mean like it's not for me?
Yeah.
I'm loud.
But that's okay.
Yeah. That's why it's just polar opposites. That's the shtick. I remember whenever we were just dreaming up the podcast, and I was like, the gimmick is that like you're you and like I'm me, and we're opposite, and people like think that's funny, Anyway.
That was one of the
It
main
works.
reasons.
It works. So okay. What were we talking about?
Yarn things. What do you want to show another finished object?
Yeah. You know what finished object I'm excited to show is this bad boy.
Yes.
This was drying in the corner of the frame. Oh my god, I'm so dumb. In the corner of the frame, the last episode. And how cool is this?
It's so spooky. I love it.
This is just like a plain raglan increases. I know it's really hard to see because of all the like striping action. But plain raglan increases, Beetlejuice inspired, like vintage punk mohair sweater inspired sweater. And I knit it with 2 strands of fingering held together, and that's why it's so like plump and soft.
Okay, I was wondering.
Oh my god, I just can't wait to wear this. Like, can't wait.
I was wondering what sweater you're gonna wear today. I knew this one would probably be a little bit too hot.
Yeah, this one's good because it's like airy. I'm also not wearing anything under it, like floozy, so that helps. But yeah,
this is so
how
cute.
cool is this? This I'm picturing with like I have. Oh my god, wow! Look at the frame.
I love it.
I just love it. I have like black tight ripped pants and like classic combat boot stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I just love it. Like I seriously love it so much. This was actually an entry for 2 make-alongs that I'm following right now that are still going on. So the first is Stashless 2020. That is the Crimson Stitchery. She has a wonderful, I think she's my favorite YouTube podcaster. I know she's my favorite. Her like theme for her podcast is making all things beautiful and useful. So she doesn't really do like the rapid fire, like fast knitting, like gotta get this done. Like she talks about mending and like preserving your knits, and she said she has pairs of socks that are 10 years old that she knit.
Wow.
And they last, you know what I mean? So she's all about like sustainability, which is really cool. So she started the Stashless 2020 initiative to like kind of plug through your stash and like use what you got. And I just thought this fit right in there because it's so much stash yarn. And then also Amy from the Stranded podcast is having a marl along. So when you marl like a project, it's when you hold any two yarns together.
Okay.
So it could be like maybe like a white worsted weight with a bright pink mohair. You know what I mean? Like anything that's going to show that contrast, like whether it's minimal contrast or high contrast, to just kind of like elevate the yarn. And whenever you hold two yarns together, you can really change how they look, which I think is really cool. So a lot of the yarns, like this one, this stripe right here, the one that I held with the green, the skein of yarn by itself was mostly pink.
Ooh.
So I just thought this was so cool, super fun. So anyway,
I love this one.
the only two like yarns that I want to point out on this one were the one that you just pointed to. There's a lot of nitty and color yarns on here. She sold like 8 scrap packs of for like $22 or something. They were like a throw pillow sized bag of just fingering weight, like odds and ends and scraps and stuff. And I bought it, and it just like checked all my boxes. It was so colorful, and I was like, oh my god, I need these so bad. So I put a lot of those in here. The one that you said you like is in there. Look at this one. This is like dark purple, but it has sparkles in it.
Yeah, that was
so
pretty.
Cool. That's also from her. And then the green that I have like throughout the entire sweater is actually 2 different skeins of green. One's like more of a multicolor and the other one's more of a solid, and they are by Yakagani yarns. And these 2 skeins that I got were very special to me because I won them at Indie Knit and Spin in in like one of those raffles.
Yeah.
So Indie Knit and Spin is like a local Pittsburgh fiber fair that we have here, and they always have like a raffle in the morning and a raffle in the afternoon. I've won 2 raffles from Indie Knit and Spin.
Lucky.
Yeah, I know. So whenever they called they were like, Haley, Gary, and I was like, oh my god, that's me! It was so nice. And then I went over to the Yakagani booth, and I was like, I won your yarn! She was like, yay! She was like super excited. So anyway, I have very fond memories of this yarn, and I knew I wanted it in like a special project that I would remember it. So
that's very nice.
That's my novel about the sweater, but I can't wait. Like the minute that it dips below 60 degrees, here I am.
Bring it out.
I am in it.
I can't wait to see your outfits in it.
Thank you. I also like big oversized sweaters with like short skirts.
Ooh, okay.
And combat boots.
Nice. I love it.
I'm gonna keep this on my lap because I like how soft it feels.
Very
and
soft.
Why don't you show me another one of your finished objects? You've been like cranking it away over there.
Really? Because I feel like I have like nothing.
You have 4 finished objects.
I have 3.
Oh, the third one is the
Yeah.
one you already
Yeah.
Oh, I was like confused.
Okay.
I have yarn in my mouth. Please excuse me, I'm disgusted.
So I have
Who
this
would love
one.
that?
This is actually kind of like a special one. I'm doing an auction right now, and it's actually today's the last day for it. So it's We Won't Stay Silent auction. So I made this piece specifically for that, so people can bid on it, and all the money the money that is bidded against it and the proceeds will go to the Loveland Foundation, which is a nonprofit in New York City that helps people of color, girls and women, and just like have like a better life and give them therapy and everything. So I made that for that specifically, and I thought it would be fun to do like very colorful.
Yeah.
But I think there's like 50 other things that you can bid on that they release all throughout the week, and it was really cool. There's a wide variety of different arts, and there was like earrings, and there was purses, and there was just a bunch of different types of artwork, like paintings. There was another weaving.
So much good like handmade variety of things.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
But each piece that you bid on goes to a different like nonprofit organization that artist picked. So lots of donating happening, which is fun.
This is beautiful.
Thanks. Yeah, I pulled all that yarn from my stash too. It was like
Good.
using up my stash. So I really like these colors. These are designs by Amber. I love this like floofy. Reminds me very 90s.
Yes.
The purple is Loopy Mango. And this teal is some leftover bits that I've had from Narama Studios, her art yarn, which she just did a restock, and a lot of the colors that I really like sold out really fast. It's amazing yarn if you ever like look on her site. And then this pink here, which you can't really see because the design's by Amber, but that's Molly Girl yarn. And this yellow, I can't even remember what this yellow is from. I think it was just from like a fiber pack that I probably got before. But then I used Lion Brand for the fringe.
I love it.
Thanks. I really like the colors. These are my kind of colors.
I think that would go, like, even if you had none of those colors in your room, like, it would just, like, I think about everything that you make, like, in the way that you photograph it, you know, and, like, put it on your Instagram against, like, the white wall, and I just love it so much.
It's gonna pop.
I love everything.
Thanks. Yeah, these circle weavings would be like really nice on like a gallery wall kind of type situation going on.
That's kind of like what I have going on upstairs. Did I show you where I hung the weaving that you made me?
No, I have to see it.
I'll have to show you because it looks really nice. It's like underneath a shelf between photo frames. When I do gallery style like hanging, I really like different textures together. I don't like plain black frames. Like that doesn't do anything for me. So I try to like loud it out a little bit.
I feel like you're like a pro at gallery style.
Yeah, I went through a really bad phase in college where I just thought that was like the only way to hang art and whatever. So I definitely still appreciate it, but my whole house is not like that anymore. Like, thank goodness.
I'm so excited for this.
Are you ready?
Yes. Oh my goodness.
I wove a thing. It looks really cool on the camera. Like, not to brag. Also, this is only like 3 different skeins of yarn.
Yeah, please tell me about this yarn they use. I'm like dying to know what the sequence one is.
So, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't have any of the tags. They're all in the inside of the yarn ball.
Well, I know this one you got from my stash.
I got them all from your stash. Yes.
Where did that come from?
Which one?
The sequence one.
The sequence
I'm
one?
dying to know.
That one is, do you remember the 2 big floofers I took? One was this one, and the other one had, like, the sequins yarn.
It's so pretty.
This yarn, it's all on the same ball because it's all, like, tied differently.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain it, but it's all from one ball. And you can just, honestly, if I pulled from that single skein and just, like, kept pulling from it, it would still look like that, minus like the fluffy parts, because it just has such variety in the yarn. That looks incredible on you.
Thank you. I love it. It's so nice. I can't believe. Okay, so you did this in 2 days? 1 day?
Well, I started it when I was eating the buffalo chicken pizza.
Last night?
Yes. I worked it last night.
How are you so fast?
It was very chunky yarn.
But how?
I was watching Dexter. I'm almost through it, so I'm like really, impassioned. So I'm like watching Dexter and I'm like doing this with the shuttle and like moving back and forth and everything.
You really get into like a swift movement with it. This is incredible. I love art yarn woven scarves so much. Because you can just make them over and over and they're never gonna look the same. Yeah, I know.
Ever.
I love it.
So the couple things with this. First of all, I'm using the Easy Weaver loom for infants that Brienne gave to me out of the kindness of her heart. It's like the most beginner rigid heddle loom that you can find in the universe.
It's definitely from the 80s.
Yeah, it's so funny. The instructions are like, there's like ink drawings in the instructions. Like, it's just a good time. So, needless to say, all the instructions on the inside of that were completely unhelpful. Like, the way that they explained stuff was just like the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
I ended up Googling my favorite video. I've used it twice because I warped one weaving, and then I like messed it up and I had to like cut it off and everything, and that was a couple weeks ago. And then I did this one. My favorite video to use for how to warp a rigid heddle loom is called How to Warp a Rigid Heddle Loom in 3 minutes. And the video is 3 minutes.
Send that to me?
Yes. Yes, because she goes like boop, boop, boop. I'm actually going to just pull it up on my YouTube because honestly, I looked and looked and looked and looked and I could not find anything that was just like just cut the bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't need you to like tell me about the history of weaving. When I play this video, it has the most whack background music ever, so please just ignore it.
You're not lying. I feel like clowns are gonna like pop out every second.
I know. So the video is called Warping in Less Than 3 Minutes, and that's what it looks like, and it has the clown music. And basically, it's not that the actual warping is taking 3 minutes, it's that she speeds everything up.
Okay.
So she shows you in 3 minutes like how it is. And she doesn't speak at all. It's just like subtitles over the screen. It is the easiest to follow thing I've ever seen.
That's amazing.
So thank you for the clown car video channel. So I warped that with this yarn because I still had more left over.
I mean, that's a very sturdy yarn, so that's awesome.
Yeah, it is. So I was thinking like, what's gonna not be big enough that it's gonna be like obtrusive, but also like hold in all that fluff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So this is like a worsted weight, kind of a rustic, you know, yarn. So
Tater's making cute noises at the window.
Tater's born.
Sorry, that's how we both looked over.
So I warped it with that, and then I don't know what the yarns were, but they're wonderful.
They are wonderful. This is beautiful.
This is available for sale in my Etsy shop. If you're interested, it is like 57 inches long, so it's more of like a fashionable scarf than like a warm scarf.
Mm-hmm.
But you could, like, I mean, this looks really cute. Oh my
God. It would definitely be warm during the winter, though.
This is like a tuck it under your pea coat, button it up, but like this is a party scarf.
Party scarf.
Party
I
over.
love it. It's very pretty.
So, I have the weaver fever. I am sick.
I am sick.
I am sick with the weaver fever. I love weaving on a rigid heddle loom, and I give it a month before I have like a grown up rigid heddle loom from somewhere because I'm just like I'm addicted. Like I love it.
Yeah.
So much.
That's amazing.
So that's my weaving.
I love it.
Yeah. What about you? You have one more.
I have one more.
And there's a special thing about this.
This one?
Mm-hmm. Because you learned something new, did you
I
not?
did. I love this circle weaving
This
so
is
much.
Incredible.
I've had this color palette probably picked out on my desk for about 3 months now. Just like waiting because I love these colors together right now.
Yeah.
So what's really exciting about this is that this fringe is called Raya Loop, which this is something I have been taught before, but for some reason it just never clicked in my head. Yeah. And it's so easy. So when you do it, you're just like, why have I just been an idiot about this and not been doing this the entire time? Because I had one person show me, and then I instantly was just like,
it just clicks.
And so I tried it again. I looked it up again on YouTube, and it's super easy. But look at this texture.
This is so amazing.
I love it. So it's just like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I love that it's not all white, that you like pulled the colors in and did like color blocking with the fringe. Like, how cool is that?
I love that. So I have like layers of Raya loops under here. So I have just like a plain white down here, and then I have like a sparkly white, and then I pulled some of the colors that I used from up top, and then just like another plain white. And then so what's really special also about this is that I use some Sumi and Me hand spun yarn up here, and when I pull my colors, I always like to pull hand spun yarn and then like
build it.
Yeah. So I just pulled colors from that hand spun to use in the rest. And then I'm really obsessed with this color right now. It's called Cornflower Blue.
Yes.
And I have been trying to find a yarn that has been a cornflower blue for so long, and Wool King finally released a color like that, and I bought one, and I think I'm going to have to buy another ball because I already used almost half of it.
This is very reminiscent to the Pantone color of the year,
Yes.
which is like a very vibrant blue. It's a little more like royal blue, but as soon as you showed me this color, didn't we talk about cornflower blue once?
Yeah.
You were like, what would you call this? And I think I was like, cornflower blue, and you were like, thank you.
Well, when I say cornflower blue, a lot of people don't understand. Like, I was trying to like tell David about it, and he was like, that color doesn't exist. And it's like,
David should know.
Yes, it does.
As a graphic designer.
I know. I was like, how
Very disappointed in you, David.
Who I really respect for cornflower blue, side note, is Big Bud Press. They have a whole like jumpsuit in that color. I would love to have that.
I was gonna say, you, like, your coloring, you would look so amazing.
I love it.
Do you know what I've noticed is coming back in style is like really primary colors, like kind of moving away from the pastel and more like this, stay with me here, reminds me of like the Google Chrome color palette a little bit.
Yeah.
Because they use those like very intense like green, red, yellow. So like you take the four, like, I know they're not primary colors, bite me, whatever, like red, blue, yellow, and green, and just like put a twist on them.
Yeah.
So these on the surface look very like, I don't know how to say it, but anyway, it's a very complex color palette, but when you break it down, like, I think that's why we like it, is because it's so like,
I love it. And then I can't remember where this green is from, but it's really textured. I know I got it in Indie Knit and Spin from like
it's like not locks, but it's kind of like reminiscent of locks.
Yeah, there's something like locks in there, but I can't remember who the dye, because I got it from so long ago. But it's very pretty. I wonder if you can like see the texture. I think you can. And then this was it very light coral color. I think it's more orange in the photo, but it's like a coral. I got this from a dyer that I found at a yarn store out in York, Pennsylvania. But she's from Harrisburg, but she didn't have a name on there. It just said dyed in Harrisburg, PA. So I thought that was cool. And then this yellow is Juniper Moon. I remember this time. I always forget that name.
Juniper Moon.
Yeah.
Look at you. It's like a marigold.
It is. I love it.
So pretty.
And then this like blush pink is from Wool. She has an Etsy shop and she's on Instagram. But she's from the UK. I like to get a lot of my hands done from her because she's very, very talented. But yeah, that's all I got in there. I love this one. I'm very excited to share about it because this is like a circle weaving that I've had in my head to do forever, and I just haven't been able to act on it yet. So it was fun to finally do it.
Oh. Sorry, Haley texted us and said, when are you guys podcasting today?
Right now.
Right now. Right now. What's up?
Yeah.
I love that. And I love that technique.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm really excited to incorporate it some more. I'm really enjoying making circle weavings on hoops.
Yeah. I've noticed you've been wrapping all of them.
Yes.
They look so like clean and crisp.
Yeah, because then you can't see the warp strings. Also, another thing, I'm not sure if you can really see, but in the middle here, I got a new warp thread, and this is called like a citron, and I really love that color. So I know it's like pretty much like covered up, but in the middle you can see it. And I don't know, warp string just makes me very excited.
Yeah.
Colorful warp string, it just does. It makes me very happy. But I got that from Modern Cord. She has an Instagram and Etsy, and she has a variety of different colors. Yeah.
You're so coordinating.
Thanks, I try.
I love it.
That's all I got though.
I have one more finished object.
Yes. Nickelodeon.
Yeah, exactly. I've been affectionately calling these my Reptar socks because
that's pretty accurate.
if you are born in the 90s, you know what Reptar is.
Again, Nickelodeon. This is Nickelodeon socks.
This is the Rugrats movie VHS when you bought it and you take it out of the plastic container and the tape is orange. Anyway,
this is so pretty.
I know. These are so cute.
gosh.
I love that. So this is just a vanilla sock. I did a cuff down, heel flap, and gusset. Who even am I? Like, I don't even know myself anymore. So, and I knit these on magic loop. Wow. So, reflections. I love knitting socks on magic loop because it doesn't hurt my bones as much. I kind of get like a little cramped up on the 9-inch circular, which I never realized because I had never knit socks on Magic Loop before. So now that I've tried it, I know that.
Ooh.
I do think that 9-inch circulars have their place in the universe. Immediately what comes to my mind is like if I were getting on an airplane and I had to like take a project with me, I would probably take a 9-inch circular, because when you knit on a 9-inch circular, you're kind of doing this. When you're doing the Magic Loop, you have to be like more spread out because it gives you that added flexibility of like you're not all cramped up, but because of that you use a lot more like elbow, and you have to like flip it and like flip your yarn and everything, so there's just like more movement, whereas 9-inch circulars you're just kind of like nana knitting like this.
Yeah.
So I think they have their place in the universe for sure, but Magic Loop definitely didn't hurt me as much physically to knit them. So did a heel flap and gusset, and this is the green yarn for my sweater. This is also Yakagami yarns.
So cute.
Love this. And isn't this crazy how much this matches the green in here?
Yeah, I would have always thought that they were just the same yarn.
Super weird.
Is
so
this like a self-striping?
yeah, this yarn is 716 knit in her 716 sock yarn. And this colorway is called Role Playing Rejects. I got this at
Such a funny
Darn
name.
Yarn.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why, but like, I don't want to say I don't know why they had it, but I saw this skein of yarn atop a pile of like very neutral things, and I was like, oh, like hello, yarn. It was just so loud and fun. So 716 Knit is from the Brooklyn area.
Ooh.
Actually, Chris has a 716 phone number because he's from Olean.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, that's cool, like, neat. Also, her yarn came with a stitch marker on it. How fun is that?
That is very cute.
So, not a whole lot to say about them because they're just vanilla socks. I did a 60 stitch, like, circumference, on these socks. That is my, like, preferred number, and, that's pretty much it.
Nice. I love them.
I know, they're very loud.
Yeah.
I really like my socks to be loud a lot more than like my clothes, because I think socks are just like party on your feet.
Party on your feet. I love it.
So that's all my finished objects, and I say all, like 2 sweaters, a woven scarf, and a pair of socks.
You definitely have a cowl too that you did not bring down and talk about.
Oh shoot, I do. I'm sorry, I have to go get it.
I was gonna say,
That's
what
right.
I think we should talk about.
I'll be
that.
right back.
I didn't see it on the table.
I'm a dum dum.
Okay, so now it's just me. Hello. I wish we could like interact so I can talk to you guys more personal, but I have nothing else to say. So
I'm gonna put the cowl on.
Haley said she's gonna put the cowl on. I'm not sure if you heard that. It is amazing. It's very gothic, very fluffy. Tater is making the cutest noises right now. That's all I got.
Alright, I'm coming.
Here she comes. That was actually really fast.
I know where all my knits are.
Oh, the queen. Oh.
Here I am, girls. Hello.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Let me pull this up so you can fully appreciate it.
You just see like red sprinkling in.
This is how long it is. If this doesn't work out to be our thumbnail, you should make it our thumbnail. Okay, so.
Oh my god.
Hot Mess Express. Toot toot. This is amazing, and I want to like die in this cowl.
Yes, you're definitely gonna be buried in
It is.
it. I don't care.
It's so. Please excuse me. It's so nice. I had 3. Yes, it was 3 skeins of yarn sitting in my stash that like. Do you ever have yarn that just doesn't fit in with the rest of your stuff, and you're like,
Yeah.
it just like it needs a special like zhuzhing.
Mm-hmm.
So I had this super softy velvet is Bernat Chunky Velvet, I think. No, Loops and Threads Chunky Velvet, just in black. I got it from Michael's because it was softy. And
Softy.
this is Lumen Thistle. Oh my god, look at me pulling out the Lumen Thistle. Usually Brie takes the you know, the lead with
It's okay. I have some.
talking about Miss Anne Marie.
I have more stuff to talk about Anne Marie.
So this is leftover yarn from when you made me your that weaving for my knitting office, which is like a Darth Vader looking, or Darth Maul. I'm
gonna say Darth Maul.
I don't even like Star Wars. So this is amazing. It's hand spun. It's got all of my good stuff. It's got sparkles, black yarn, silk, red, like beauty in it. It's so nice. And then the like level 10 zhuzhing came from this yarn right here.
The feather yarn.
Makes me look like a chicken.
If you remember a couple episodes ago, wow, we could say like a couple episodes ago.
No, we're so like experienced.
You got that from Rags.
Yeah. So Tony is the owner of Rags Fiber Art. She is God's gift to Earth. And when I went to the Rags Fiber Affair with the Woolies, Bree, and then our friends Haley and Christy, she was like, wait, I have something for you guys. She gave me this skein of yarn, and she gave Bree a pink version, like very flamingo-y. This is like Black Swan Beauty. It is like legit black hand-spun yarn with feathers in it.
Amazing.
I love it. Like, I saw the yarn years ago in her shop when I first started going to yarn stores, and it spoke to me then, and we're just so lucky.
We are so lucky.
Be surrounded by such supportive yarn shop owners. So anyway, that's about the yarn. If you want to know about the pattern, there was none. I made a tube, and then I just kept knitting. It does have a little like shaping that happened because this was the fattest of the yarns. This was the thinnest, and then this was the fattest. So it actually kind of like, it does lend itself to like the cowl shape. I'm just leaving this on. It's amazing. So I am obsessed. Also worth noting, I blocked this, and the feathers still look incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, I blocked it to kind of like shape the top portion of it because these two, you know, were hand spun, and then this was just like Michael's brand yarn.
Yeah.
So it just worked out. I'm in love.
It looks amazing.
Every year I make myself like a giant tube cowl. I don't like destroy them in here, but I find like my styles change a lot. So last year I had like a very plain one. This is my 2020 like.
It's gonna be pretty rad when it comes fall, winter.
I feel like Cruella de Vil.
Yes.
But in like a good way.
I
So,
just like picture you wearing that with like your pea coat, your combat boots, you know, walking around downtown.
my pea coat has like a vampire collar on it that actually comes up like kind of on an angle like this. Anyway.
I love it. I'm glad you went there and got that.
Thank you for reminding me. I totally
Yeah.
I've just been knitting up a storm.
Yeah, I went through like a mental check note in my head about all the things you had to talk about because I know you've been knitting up a storm.
Thank you for keeping me honest. Appreciate it.
It's amazing.
So
What else should we talk about?
that's for real. All the finished objects that I have.
Yes.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, you want to do that now?
Yeah, let's do it now. All right.
We
Big
have
news.
huge news. Well, I guess I can talk about these too.
Yes, yes. So, our friend Christy, as you know, or may not know, the Woolies is more than Haley and Brianna. The Woolies is Haley, Brianne, another Haley,
North River Knits, who we talk about
all the time, North River Knits, and our friend Christy. So, our friend Christy sent us a text message last week and said, hey, I have something to tell you guys. And we were like, okay.
I thought it was going to be like job promotion.
Yeah, like, what's up? And she was like, I've secretly been dyeing yarn for the past, like 4 months. And we were like,
What? Excuse us.
I'm sorry, what? You've been doing what? Like, this is the best text message to get in your knitting group.
Yes.
So now we have podcasters. Haley and I design patterns, and now Christy is our yarn dyer. Like, we've got it all in the family. Like, we're good. And I think we're pretty much just solidified now. Like, we have to all retire and buy a yarn store together.
Yeah, I'm down.
I think we just have to.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we were like, holy shit, like, tell us about your yarn. So we might as well just hold all this up and just...
Okay, So the thing about Christy is that she is a chemist for a full-time job. Yeah. Baller.
Which makes for a dope yarn dyer. Like, she gets all of it instead of, like, how I dye yarn and probably how you dye yarn too, where you're just, like, and, like, hope for the best, and then come down and you're like, pretty! She, like, knows what she's doing. So, this is Christy's yarn.
So at first she dyed, like, these little minis.
Yes.
Which I'll just bring these up too. These are side note. These are a pair, these are a pair.
Yeah.
These are in my stash. These are just other colors that she's been dyeing.
This is for something else.
Just so you see these. But she was dyeing these minis first.
And look how beautiful these tonal yarns.
I love that one.
Like, if you are not a yarn dyer and you think dyeing tonals is easy, you would be mistaken, because it's not easy at all. It's incredibly difficult. I love the amount of, like, I don't want to say tonalness, but, like, for lack of a better word, the tones in her tonal yarn are phenomenal. Like, they're just, she has great coverage. I truly cannot wait to, like, see it knitted up. So, this is also her yarn that she dyed. She dyed she put together all 3 of these. I have a sneeze. Oh, please excuse me. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
It's gonna be gone now because I laughed. It's fine. Okay. So, back to reality.
You're killing me today.
Sorry. She's very punchy. So, this is like a full-on, Woolies has come full circle, and we're ready to pass the savings on to you, because this yarn with these 3 minis and this full-size skein, these are all fingering weight. These correspond to the Sweet Slice Shawlette that Haley designed, who's North River Knits, and both Haley and Christy have agreed to give. We're going to give all these away, and then someone is going to win also, like whoever gets these, is going to win the pattern for the Sweet Slice Shawlette, and we are just like throwing a project at you. I am now realizing that we did not come up with the parameters for this giveaway.
We're going to do a YouTube giveaway.
Yeah, of what? Like, what do we...
Yeah, we did...
This is the worst episode ever. I don't know.
Let's just do everyone that comments.
Wait, I have an idea. What if...
We are so sorry.
Oh, gosh. We're so bad at this. What if they commented and talked about their favorite one of our finished objects that we showed on this episode? Because we have so many finished objects.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Tell us about your favorite finished object from this episode.
Just comment below on the YouTube video, and you will win this.
So we'll pull. When do you want to pull a winner?
2 weeks.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Next episode.
Next episode, we will pull a winner before we film, because if you're a dedicated viewer, you will know that any episode where we announce a giveaway winner, the file gets corrupted. So we will pull it before we film so that we do not maintain our...
Yeah, we'll go live on our Instagram, because that works out the best. Because, again, every episode that we go to film to announce a winner always gets messed up.
So
we're jinxed. We're first.
That's perfect. But yeah, so the Sweet Slice Shawlette, maybe in the... Like, when we post about this on Instagram, I will show the slide with the... Oh, let me just pull up the pattern photo.
Yeah, we did have an episode where... Because Haley knitted it, and she wore it on the episode, but that episode actually got corrupted, so we actually didn't get to go over that, but I'm sure if you follow Haley and also North River Knits, you've definitely seen it.
Yeah.
And we've definitely been sharing about it on our Instagram, the Woolies podcast. But the pattern is beautiful. It's inspired by, like, a slice of cake.
Yes.
So, like, a layered cake.
This is the shawl. How
Gorgeous.
cute. Haley is such a beauty. And also her patterns are gorgeous. But this is, like, so cute. So this would be the main color.
This would be the sprinkled in?
No, actually these are.
Oh, okay.
I asked Christy the same thing. I said, we need 2 skeins for for the stripes, and she said yes. And then this is for the lace at the bottom.
Okay.
So very like color coordinated. I think this would be so beautiful.
I think it looks like a blueberry Pop-Tart.
Yes, like a wild berry one.
Yes.
Hell yeah. So that's really exciting. Wow. Someone did mohair with theirs.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Really pretty. Wait, this is Esme DIY. Dang girl, you got it. Beautiful.
I love it.
I made one too. If you have seen my Instagram post, I posted about it. Mine was gray and red. So yeah.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
I'm jealous whoever wins that one.
I know, it's a really good giveaway.
I knew about Christy Solids, but I did not know about this one until today. This is gorgeous.
Experimenting with different bases to like see how her colors kind of like work together, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So Christy just started Instagram for her yarn dyeing adventure. It's called Foster's Fibers.
Yes.
So it's at Foster's_Fibers.
Yes.
And she also has an Etsy. So she has her like tonal minis on her Etsy right now.
Yeah. She just like knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Love it. I got a skein of this. This colorway is called Mirkwood, and I got a skein of this. I think I want to do heels, toes, and cuffs on a pair of socks.
Oh, that'd be nice.
With these, I just think it's so pretty.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. Very excited. We're very excited for Christy, and we'll probably be talking a lot more about her yarn in later days.
Yeah. So comment below and tell us about your favorite finished object from this episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very exciting.
That was a good one. All right. What else? Do you want to talk about your yarn? Can you just talk about all of it at once, actually, because it's gorgeous.
All of it?
Yeah, I don't want to like take away from it because you picked some real.
Well, one exciting thing is that Lumen Crystal and Marie released these fiber packs in her Etsy shop, which, if you like these, there's more in her Etsy shop that you can go. So there's like a couple different ones. So I think there's ones you can get 4 of her hand spun yarns, and then ones with like 3. I actually got a 4-pack and a 3-pack, but I accidentally left the 3-pack at home because I thought I was bringing too much. So okay. I brought these ones. These all came in one fiber pack, and she spun these all herself. They're all amazing. It's hard to pick a favorite, but I love this one.
I like this one.
Yeah, I know. Like,
this looks like a lava lamp.
It does. I love like the locks and everything, the hot pink, and then the coral, and then there's like this pink. So this all came in one pack, and these are great for knitters if you want to make something like with a bunch of hand spun yarns. Great for weavers, you get to add some solid hand spun yarn into your stash. Mm-hmm. And then I mean, like these would even be great with like just one big woven scarf, you know?
Yeah, or like a tube cowl.
Yeah, or tube cowl.
Like stripe them all together.
But I mean, guys, I know I say this every single time, but Anne-Marie is so talented. Like, look at this.
And I love this, like the silky
They're
softies.
all so soft and so plumpy. I love this teal. Like, this is like my favorite color ever.
Yeah.
So pretty. But there's like a different, like, there's definitely another pack that looks just like with these colors. And then there's just like some other ones. Yeah, she's probably gonna be making more too. So just keep your eyes out if you're interested. Highly recommend going to her shop, treating yourself to one of these packs.
It's a good way to like try different types of yarn or different colorways like all together. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Something different.
I love them. And like they're not like huge skeins, so these are perfect for your stash that you can bust through pretty fast too. So highly recommend. I love them so much.
I know, I love
the other pack I got is like darker colors. They kind of, it's very cosmic to me, like very like spacey, which is really pretty.
Galactic.
Yes. And then the other yarn I got, I have been wanting, her name is Wild Juniper Fiber Arts. Mm-hmm. Her yarn for a very long time. And she's from Dubai.
What?
This came from Dubai. And I also, before I talk about the yarn, just wanted to talk about the shipping. Because I ordered on a Saturday and it arrived by a Thursday.
Of this, the next, like the week?
Yeah.
From Dubai.
From Dubai. I have ordered stuff the same day in the United States. And it took that stuff isn't even here yet. Blown away. I don't know what. DHL. Insane. But these are amazing hand spun yarns. I love them. They're both like pinks. So
they're merino, Corriedale silk, sari silk, and magic. I love that.
Yeah, Amanda from Wild Juniper Fiber Art, she is a weaver and she makes hand spun yarn. She's very talented.
This is gorgeous.
Right? So, yeah, I got some really great yarn in the past 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I was very excited to get yarn from Dubai.
Did she order some stuff from you from the moving sale as well? Am I thinking of the same?
Yes, yeah, she
So
ordered
cool.
some things. So I will be shipping some fun things to Dubai for the first time as well.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, very exciting. That's all
awesome.
I got. A great stash. Positions. A little tater. Sorry, that was
Tater.
loud. So last episode we talked about these stitch markers.
Yeah. So if you guys remember, Hand Stitch Life, who is Jen, she's a very talented stitch marker and progress keeper maker. Her Etsy shop is bumping. She has so many cool things in her Etsy shop. And she's giving us a code. The code is Woolies15. That's good through the end of June. And you can use it in her Etsy store for 15% off. I think she told me that she definitely got orders like with the code. So thank you if you've like bought something.
That's awesome.
And she said, do you want me to send you guys some stuff? And I was like, yeah, honestly, yeah, because it's like beautiful. And this is what I got in the mail. So look at all of these stitch markers. This is insane.
Oh.
So first of all, this one's for you. I packed that up. That one's for you.
Thank you.
Which
Oh,
one's
it's like
for
a little
me?
Volkswagen bug and a little daisy flower. Which one?
Oh,
These ones are so cute. They're like a little tarot card and palm hand, moon,
I think this
cauldron.
is the pack I picked for myself. So we kept some for ourselves because
Donuts.
they're really nice. Look how freaking cool that is.
Oh my god, I love that.
I love that.
I love that so much.
She has one that says "Ugh." Isn't that awesome?
Yes.
I love it. She sent me a tombstone, which is I love.
God,
It's so
cute.
cute. Macaroon. There's a little planchette that says witching hour on it. So cute.
I love these.
Look how freaking cool that is. It's
Oh
a
my
bird
gosh.
skull.
I love that.
I love it. And then she has these, which by the way, these are my favorite stitch markers for sweater knitting. They're the small ones that are just jump rings with like little beads on them.
Oh yeah.
But they don't like get tangled up. They're very like, they're not chunky. They're not gonna like give you gaps in your knitting or anything. I just love them. Like, I'm overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that Jen sent. These are all beautiful. Yeah, just love them. So, what I think, tell me if this sounds wrong, but I think I would really like to send this one out with the Sweet Slice shawl
It
because
matches, yeah.
the color is perfect. So these are my favorite like jump ring ones, and the blue color kind of matches like the blue tealiness. So this is all what you can win for the giveaway. We're doing it on YouTube. Comment below with your favorite finished object from the video. But yeah, Jen, like, I have no words at all. We're gonna save most of these for like future giveaways because there's just like so many in here. I did make a pack up for Breathe It. They scream you. They're just so cute. But
I love this one.
really, and the gummy bear is so sweet.
The gummy bear has sparkles in it.
I just love them. So Jen, thank you so much for reaching out to me and getting in touch because this is like just so nice.
amazing.
I love them. Yeah, so Jen is Hand Stitched Life on Instagram. The link for her Etsy shop is in her bio. And you can check all her stuff out. The other thing that she has that are super cute are those t-shirts that say like keep calm and craft on, keep calm and knit on, and all of that. And you can pick like whatever color and all of that stuff, and they're super cute. I really want one of those shirts that says like keep calm and knit on. Look at this one.
Which one's that one?
It's a macaroon.
Oh.
It's very chubbly.
I really like the donut one. Guys, you want the donut one?
The donut one is so cute.
It's thick.
Thicky.
These are amazing.
I know.
She's so talented.
And so generous. So, we're gonna be saving those for some future stuff.
Future giveaways, yeah. Be ready.
So, don't forget to use the coupon code Woolies15 through the end of June. I think that's all I have. Please excuse my
Tanner.
cat. She will not stop.
I really hope you can hear her. She's so cute.
So, do you have anything else?
No, that's all I have.
Wow. Got a lot talked about.
Yeah.
An hour and 6 minutes. This is like fast for us. We're usually like solid hour and 15.
Yeah, I really thought it'd be a little bit longer. I felt like we had a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah. Next podcast, we'll announce the giveaway winner. That's that. Use the coupon code through the end of the month there.
So you have today, Monday, and Tuesday.
Yes.
3 more days. Well, 2.5. This video will probably be up probably around 5 o'clock or so. So
Yeah. And that's that.
yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks
for
for
watching. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Now we get up.
You like your Turners?
Yes.
You have to have something to